Hey guys, so I'll be talking about folate. First things first, what is folate? Well, folate is a water soluble B vitamin found naturally in some foods but also available as a dietary supplement. It's found naturally in vegetables, fruits, nuts, beans, poultry, meat, seafood, and grains, and it's found as folic acid in supplements and fortified foods. It has a total body content of 10 to 30 milligrams, half of which is stored in the liver, and the rest can be found in the blood and body tissues. So my study highlighted iron, folate, and vitamin B12 status in Ethiopian professional runners. So the objective was to determine the status of these micronutrients of the Ethiopian runners, well, within them. So the population included male and female Ethiopian professional athletes of different distance categories. The age range was from 17 years old to 35 years old, and the study took place from February to April 2014. The sample size included 101 male and female Ethiopian professional athletes, 44 of whom were female distance runners and 57 of whom were male distance runners. And it took place in Addis Ababa National Stadium in Ethiopia. So the independent variable was the distance ran and the food consumed. This study was performed using a cross-sectional method with socio-demographic, food frequency, dietary diversity, and biochemical methods of determining the hematological and micronutrient status of these professional distance runners. So basically, they took the backgrounds of these runners, how often they ate, what they ate, and the micronutrient levels in their blood. So these runners were running short distances, middle distances, a 3,000 meter steeplechase, long distances, and a marathon. The dependent variable was the presence or lack thereof of iron, folate, and vitamin B12. So again, biochemical samples, a detailed health and exercise related interview, performance data, 24-hour dietary diversity, and weekly food frequencies were collected. And then this was assessed by a dietitian who had then given the hematological samples to a phlebotomist. So the most consumed food groups were cereal and grain products, vegetables, fruits, fats, and oils. Fruits and vegetables being very good sources of folate, so it's really good that was prevalent in what they were eating. And the least consumed foods were fish and organ meats. So the folate status in the athletes, the standard deviation for folate for all of the participant athletes was 8.5 plus or minus 3.1 nanograms per milliliter. And according to the WHO cutoff point values, there were 21 athletes that had moderate folate deficiency and 80 athletes who had folate within a normal range. So there was no severe folate deficiency or folate overload in this study. And the proportion of moderate folate deficiency prevalence in both males and females was about equal. So as you can see in this table, the green is where the normal range is. So you can see that primarily most of the athletes did have a healthy amount of folate in their systems. So one of the most common micronutrient deficiencies includes folate, and this is primarily due to prolonged inadequate dietary intake of food rich in this micronutrient, and in continuous intense exercise training, the need for folate may increase. So if you're not getting enough of this micronutrient as it is, it just makes it worse. And folate is known to have an immense effect on an athlete's health, performance, and endurance, which is why it's increasingly important that as an athlete you intake this micronutrient. And that's why marginal deficiency states may have no great impact on sedentary individuals, but again, they may have an extreme consequence for a professional athlete. While there was no significant difference in males and females in folate values, there was, however, a significant difference in the folate levels based on distance ran for males. Again, there was a moderate folic acid deficiency, but that was only about 20%, whereas 80% were healthy and had normal folate values. So the strengths would include that the folate levels were not primarily deficient, the findings corresponded with prior study results, and the study was extremely thorough. The weaknesses include that a sample size was just too small, it could have included slightly older athletes, and that it should have been tested on average people, so it could have been more applicable. And that's it. Thanks, guys.